2024, American journalist Carlson asked Putin why he invaded Ukraine. Putin responded, "Ukraine never existed. Ukrainians and Russians are one nation, but now Ukraine is inhabited by the Nazis only." Because they consider Stepan Bandera to be their hero, because Bandera was the leader of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists and, according to Putin, collaborated with Hitler.
When World War II broke out, part of this extremely nationalist elite collaborated with Hitler, believing that he would bring them freedom. The German troops, even the SS troops, made Hitler's collaborators do the dirtiest work of exterminating the Polish and Jewish population. This was led by the persons who are well known: Bandera, Shukhevych. These people have been made into national heroes in Ukraine.
Is it true or false? And who was Stepan Bandera in reality? Stepan Bandera was born in 1909 in western Ukraine. All the time it was the territory of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His father, Andrei, was a priest of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church. At the end of the First World War in 1918, Ukrainians proclaimed the West Ukrainian People's Republic. Andrei Bandera was elected to the parliament and voted for the unification of the western Ukraine with the eastern. He later became a chaplain in the Ukrainian army and fought against Poland for Ukraine's independence. In 1921, Ukraine lost the war. The east was occupied by Soviet Russia, the west by Poland. Stepan Bandera wanted to be like his father. Since childhood, he had been preparing to fight for an independent Ukraine. When he was 19, he was arrested by the Polish police for the first time. In 1929, Ukrainian immigrants founded the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, OUN. It was aimed at restoring an independent Ukraine. The organization became very popular among young people. In eastern Ukraine, members of this organization were exposed and either killed or recruited as agents by Soviet Russia. But in Poland, the OUN became a large underground force. Stepan Bandera became one of the leaders of this organization. The OUN claimed responsibility for the murder of Polish politicians, including Polish Interior Minister Pieracki. In 1934, Bandera was arrested by the Polish government. Bandera was suspended to death, but his sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment. In 1939, World War II began. Nazi Germany, with the help of Soviet Russia, occupied Poland. In this video, you can see a joint parade of Nazis and Russian communists in Brest, now Belarus. Stepan Bandera was released and returned to political activity. He and his supporters opposed the OUN leadership and created a new organization, the OUN Revolutionary, or as it was also called, the OUN Banderites. In 1939-41, representatives of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, OUN, had contact with some Third Reich officials, hoping to get help in gaining independence. 2 special operation battalions were created from among the OUN members. However, the cooperation ended very quickly when the OUN proclaimed the restoring of Ukrainian statehood in June 1941. Soon afterwards, the Third Reich began brutal repressions against the leadership and ordinary members of the Ukrainian nationalist organization. Bandera was arrested. The Nazis demanded of him to withdraw the Act of Ukrainians' Independence. Bandera refused to do so. Then the Nazis imprisoned him in the Sachsenhausen concentration camp. Two Bandera's brothers, Alexander and Vasil, were killed by the Nazis in Auschwitz death camp. Another brother, Bogdan Bandera, was allegedly killed by the Nazis in southern Ukraine. What a strange collaboration, isn't it? While Stepan Bandera was imprisoned in German concentration camp, his associates created the Ukrainian insurgent army, called the UPA, in the underground. In 1943, it began fighting against the Germans. The UPA also fought against the Polish underground. Poland still accuses the UPA of war crimes against civilians. After 1944, the UPA continued to fight against Soviet Russia. The last UPA combat action was recorded in 1960, 15 years after the end of World War II. Stepan Bandera was released by Nazis from a concentration camp in late 1944. From 1945, he lived in West Germany under false documents. However, in 1959, a KGB agent, Bogdan Stashinsky, murdered him in Munich. By then, Russia began massive propaganda about the cooperation of the OUN and Bandera with the Nazis. It continues to do so today.
Such heroes as Bandera and Shukhevich, who were Hitler's collaborators, and they and others like them were convicted by the Nuremberg tribunal.
This is a lie. After the Second World War, the Kremlin actually tried to get the OUN and UPA to be condemned internationally as a criminal organization. To this end, in February 1946 in Nuremberg, the Soviet prosecution witness, Field Marshal Frederick Pauls, suddenly started talking about Ukrainians. He surrendered near Stalingrad, and after 3 years of treatment in Soviet camps, he abundantly testified. Germany used Ukrainian nationalists and also the Greek Catholic Church against the USSR. Deputy Prosecutor General of the USSR Mykola Zorya added, Bandera is a paid agent of Hitler and participant in his crimes. The tribunal demanded confirmation, and the USSR hastily provided a whole bunch of Nazi documents about the OUN, and it was a huge failure. Due to their own negligence or illiteracy, the Soviet delegation, instead of slandering the UPA, proved to the whole world its fight against Nazis. The very first document testified to this. The SS began secretly killed Banderites in November 1941 because they were preparing a national uprising. Other materials were even more sensational. An anti-Nazi uprising broke out without external support, and a real war between Nazis and nationalists began. In modern Ukraine, there is a debate about the place of Bandera in the national memory. But it's definitely not for Putin to decide. Ukrainians will decide for themselves whether to consider Bandera a hero or just an important historical figure. In any case, Bandera will definitely remain a symbol of Ukrainians' struggle against Russian imperialism.